Garden 24 is done.
Good morning, beautiful people. Welcome back to the kitchen. You were here yesterday, but we are still at it. If you saw yesterday's video, you saw that we were dealing with tomatoes. We got to make room in the freezer for the pigs that we're doing this weekend. So all the tomatoes, the summer produce is coming out, and I'm dealing with it. Hopefully we'll be dealing with strawberries too, but probably not this week. I don't think I'm gonna have time. But the tomatoes made a pretty big dent in the freezer, so we're doing okay. So we pulled all those out. I got them defrosted in the oven, then we milled them and made sauce. And then last night I put this pan on the stove and got it simmering down to the thickness that I want. And now it's thickened again. I just left it out, and I'm bringing it back up to heat this morning so I can get them canned. So that's the big main project for today. I also need to get yesterday's vlog edited, which you'll see before you see this one. So hopefully it's already out, which means I reached my goal for the day if you see the video before this one. So I'm going to get this in jars and canning, and that will be going while I go edit the video. And then once that's done, we will see what else we can get to today. Do this. All right, so the only weird thing you kind of got to do with tomatoes is add some kind of acidic medium, just to make sure, because we're water bath canning, just to make sure that the acidity is up where it should be to make it safe for water bath canning. According to the USDA, take it as you will. So you can add bottled lemon juice, or you can add citric acid. I like to do citric acid just because then I don't have to use up my bottled lemon juice, and it's easier. So that goes in the bottom first, and I'm doing a mix of quarts and pints because sometimes I need it for like sauce and sometimes I need it for, like, you know, making Spanish rice or something like that. I don't need all of a quart sometimes. So for the pints, it's a 1/4 teaspoon. For the quarts, it's a 1/2 teaspoon. And then we will fill the jars. Okay, this is going to 1/2 inch headspace, which is the space between the rim of the jar and the contents of the jar. And that looks like about 1/2 inch. It's my handy dandy gauge that Ben made me. I actually had a plastic one, like the ones that come in the kits with the, you know, the funnels and the tongs and all that, but it broke, so Ben made me a new one. So 1/2 inch, we can add a little bit more. I usually do this part with a spoon because if I try to do it with a ladle, then it gets all over the place. And it doesn't take very much. All right, on to the next one. All right, we wipe our rims to make sure they are clean for the lids to sit on. Because if there's food on the rims, then the lids won't seal. The food gets in the way. So we have to...
I want to wipe the lids. I want to wipe them.
The rim? Okay, be careful because the jars are hot. Because the sauce is hot. No, the top seal. Like this.
I want to do it.
Okay, go ahead. You can do it kind of hard. Just don't stick it into the tomato sauce. Okay, there we go. All right. So usually I simmer my lids, but you can, if you're processing your jars for longer than 10 minutes, which we will be today, you can put them on dry. That's what you just said. And sometimes I do that when I need to just get things done fast. Okay, I need three big rings. Can you get three big rings?
I want to do the big ones. You'll put the rings on and I'll screw.
Okay. Okay, come screw it on. I'm just holding the lid in place so it doesn't move around. There you go. There, that's perfect. Good job. There you go.
Mama.
Okay, it looks like we do have room for one more jar, so let's fill up that pint. Okay.
I got a perfect ring.
You got a perfect ring? Okay. Nope. Lid first. There you go. Make sure it's on there centered. Okay. Put the ring on. Okay. Go ahead and make sure it's straight. There you go. And oh yeah, they fit. Okay. Alrighty. This goes on. I turned that off because it was getting pretty hot, but we're gonna turn it back on. For the steam canner, you wait until, so you have to like pre-calibrate these things. For your altitude, you boil it until it hits in your little green zone, and then you mark it. So now that it's already calibrated for where we are at our altitude, all I have to do is just simmer this until it gets up to that mark, and then once it hits the mark, that's when I start timing, and it'll be 40 minutes because we got quarts in there. So we'll come back when this is done and we're ready to pull them out and start the next batch. All right, well that is steaming its little heart out, and before I get started editing today's vlog, I wanted to talk to you guys about something real quick. You guys know we don't do a whole lot of sponsorships just because, well, for one, we don't agree with mass consumerism. And we don't think everybody should be buying everything. And we also do not want to promote things to you guys that we would not or do not personally spend our own money on. A lot of these things we have actually bought for ourselves, and then, you know, sponsorships happen and we're like, hey, this is great, this is something we love already. Or when a sponsorship opportunity reaches out, we are like, yes, we would actually buy this ourselves, or we've had our eyeball on it already. One of those sponsorship opportunities did reach out recently, and I wanted to share with you what it is, but I gotta tell you a little story first. So back in my early homesteading days in suburban California, when we were just doing what we could in our little backyard, and I was soaking up all of the knowledge I could possibly soak up, one of the resources I found was a magazine called Countryside Magazine, and I really enjoyed it. It was a lot of great information, but sadly, over time, it just became more and more ads, and the publishers, like the editors, changed, and then eventually it got bought out by Ogden Publishing, and it just became really commercial. And the magazine that I loved, that really helped me in the beginning with my homesteading, just turned into this big commercial thing that was almost nothing but ads, and I was so disappointed, and I like canceled my subscription, and it was a whole thing. Fast forward to now, and the publisher of this new magazine hit me up, and he was like, hey, I would love to send you our Backwoods Home and Self-Reliance magazines for you to check out. Just check them out, tell me what you think, no strings attached. We really just want to know how you feel about them, and then if you like them, we'll talk further. So he did send us the magazines. He sent us a couple of issues of both Backwoods Home and Self-Reliance, and we have loved them. I will tell you, they are what I loved in previous magazines. It is all about homesteading information. There's a ton in here. Look how thick this is. And it is not full of ads. It is not commercial. It is like basics, like the knowledge you need to get started with homesteading stuff. It is full of information on animal husbandry, canning, gardening. They even have, in this one section, they have one on do-it-yourself solar and crafts like candles and things like that, how to harvest and store your produce, how to grow the produce in the first place. They have recipes, and then they got fun little like coloring pages too. But recipes to use your homegrown produce and meat that you have raised. We have just loved it. The kids have loved it too. Every time they come, we all just kind of sit around in the living room and we pass them back and forth to each other and read them through. They actually pick them up a couple times. They'll come back and read articles again and again. And we have really enjoyed both of these magazines. They are fantastic. I told Sam that. I said, these are great. We have loved them. Our family all loves them. They're really fantastic. And I'm really enjoying them because, like I said, they are the magazine that I needed when I was starting homesteading, but they're also a magazine that I still am enjoying now because it's always good to like keep your head in the game. Even when you're in it and you're doing the thing and you're already homesteading, it is great to just get people's outside perspectives and to see how people do things differently, or to like bring up points that you hadn't thought about before. So I let Sam know that we loved him, and he was like, all right, cool. Why don't we do a 50% off for your subscribers? So you guys can get either a Backwoods Home or a Self-Reliance subscription, or you can do both for 50% off. One, like either or both for 50% off. So I'm gonna pop a link for you guys below to go get that, to subscribe if you want to check it out. Like I said, they have been really awesome. We are really enjoying them. They are great. They cover so many things. Backwoods Home in particular is on like papery paper, like newspaper paper, which I really love. Like I said, not very many ads. I'm trying to find ads actually so I can show you the ads. I can't find any, Sam. Where did you put the ads? So like, you know, little spots of ads. Not obtrusive, obnoxious, full page ads, which are annoying. And I know that's been a point for them, is to not be full of ads, to have more information than ads. So like I said, I will pop a link below for you guys. You can get either or both. I think they're a great thing to add to your homesteading library. And the nice thing about them is you can just keep them and reference them again later in the future. So go subscribe for yourself if you are so inclined.
With the bowl.
Okay, you carry the bowl. Do you want a jacket?
No.
Oh, it's pretty warm in the greenhouse. You gonna hang out with Mom while she edits?
Yep.
She's got that look like, where are you guys going?
Yeah. Not quite big enough to go with him.
Nope, and it's a little cold, even in the greenhouse.
Yeah.
That's a big smile. Alright, and brave the cold I will. Maybe only like a high of 40 today, so it's kind of chilly for us. But it's a nice like 70 degrees in the greenhouse. So, it's a good place to hang out right now. Huh, Millie? Are you gonna come join us in the greenhouse? We have been getting down pretty cold for this time of year. Usually we don't see the teens with our weather until January. This is the beginning of December and it is like freezing. Here's all of our cabbage. I apologize if it's really bright in here. This diffused light is really bright. It's hard to like, I feel like I need sunglasses. All of our cabbage and broccoli. Our broccoli has bolted, which is fine. Like we did our best to eat as much as we could, and there's only so much broccoli you can eat. We probably should have harvested and froze a whole bunch, but didn't happen. Cabbage is ready. We're harvesting those and eating those. Those keep for a lot longer. That side's doing good. This side, on the other hand, this was like sweet potatoes and peppers, and I just let it be a wild, jumbled mess this year. And that's cool. Like, I'm happy about it. The only problem is we got down to, I think the coldest we've seen was like 17 degrees. This is not a heated greenhouse, so it got really cold in here and wiped out all the peppers. So a lot of them are gonna be mush, but there was also a lot of them that I really wanted to harvest and dry. So I'm gonna come over here. It's kind of hard to see in this jumbled mess, but I have these. And these are bird's eye chilies. Some of these are actually like on their way to drying already because they were ripe. So that's what I'm after. I'm gonna get in here, I'm gonna harvest a whole bunch of these, and I'm gonna throw them in the dehydrator and get them dried and then grind them into powder, because I really like the burn that these things have. So that's what we're gonna do right now. Me, Corbin, and Buggy are gonna get in here and pick some teeny tiny little peppers.
The little babies?
Yeah, the little berries, the little happy berries.
I like picking happy berries.
Just the happy berries too. I don't want any of the other ones.
Okay.
Honestly, these we could probably just pull the plant and just shake, but then we'd get everything, and I don't want to sit and clean all that. Here, Buggy. Pull the bowl out.
Wow. Now I have a ton in my bowl.
Oops.
Dada, we have a ton in the bowl now.
It's a ton, but it's really not that many.
No.
Let's see. We got, oh, that's not a crazy harvest, but that's an all right harvest for one plant. Those are itty bitty peppers. Should be enough. By the time I dry that and grind it, I'll probably wind up with, you know, a little bottle of Fun Heat. These little peppers are pretty spicy. Really spicy. Some of them are worse than others, but really, I enjoy eating them. I'll probably just dry some and save them just for eating. I like them with, you know, eggs in the morning. Pop one of those in your mouth and whoo-hoo, you're awake. All right, I also have some cayenne peppers in here. I think I am gonna pick some of these. There's a lot of them that dried on the plant before the frost ever hit. And those are easy to spot because they look like a dried chili. So think I'll grab a basket and we'll sit and pick some cayenne. Funny story about cayenne peppers. I have tried to grow cayenne peppers for probably like a decade, and I've never had success growing cayenne peppers. I don't know, they haven't wanted to grow for me. This year I was at a nursery and I saw cayenne peppers and I was like, hey, they're already sprouted, they're already up. So I bought a couple plants, stuck them in, and they did great. That's mush, that's mush. Is that bad?
Yeah.
Yep, that's bad. Yeah, that one's good. All
I
right.
think we can use this one.
Actually, that's really squishy. Nope. It's actually kind of slim pickings on the cayennes. I could probably pick them all and just dry them all, but there's a lot of them that I think they froze and then started molding because it's kind of warm in here. And so you pick them up, you think it's a good pepper, rip it open, and the seeds are already starting to mold. So I'm gonna go through all the ones we did pick and check them. The little chili teppins, the bird's eye chilies, I'm gonna go stick those in the dehydrator. Hopefully it won't gas out the kitchen. Garden 24 is done. Pardon the messy kitchen, we live here. All right, I'm gonna give these a quick rinse because some of them have like that's a dandelion seed, little fluff. And then there's like little spider webs and stuff like that because spiders also like the greenhouse. So I'm just gonna wash these real quick. There's a stick, I don't want that in there. I'm basically just gonna lay these out on the tray and hope for the best. This, once dried, is going to shrink by 50%. And then once I grind it, I'm gonna wind up with a hefty tablespoon of ground bird's eye chili. It's all right, just a little sprinkle on the eggs in the morning is all I'm looking for. All right, I'm gonna wash up these very, very sad cayennes, and I'm gonna put those on the same tray. We'll get them drying, and hopefully I won't gas out the kitchen with pepper fumes. These take up far more room than the chili teppins, but they will also shrink. I can feel where that pepper seed is sitting on my hand, and that's kind of spicy. This is our Excalibur dehydrator. I love it. It's like pretty straightforward, pretty simple, not a whole lot to it. I'm gonna dehydrate those at like 125 for 5 hours. I want them good and dry. That way I can powder them hopefully today. Like, that'd be cool. Like, I really like finishing projects in one day. Having a project that stretches out over a week, several days. I'm one of those, I have a hard time picking a project back up after I've forgotten about it. There's a lot of projects around here that I haven't picked back up. So, it'd be cool to finish this today. All right, while I let this cold-hearted beast warm up, so if you watched the last video we did, I talked about we have another pig class coming up this weekend. Actually, probably when this video goes up, I will be in the middle of day one of our class. One of the things that I have decided to do this year, rather than burying offal and stuff like that, I've decided I'm going to do my best to compost all of it. Hey, nice, there's still ice and snow on the ground down here. We had a little snow flurry first thing this morning, like I'm talking like 5:30, 6 o'clock this morning. Down here, this is like the lowest point of the property, and it's cold. As you can see, there's still some ice on the ground. Anyways, what I've done this year is because I've got some wood chips, I've actually made compost piles, and this is how I've been handling all of the offal. This compost pile is, I don't know, month and a half, 2 months, something like that. I'm not doing hot, like super hot compost, but these piles are maintaining heat pretty well. This is the oldest one. This is the newest one. This one, it says it's right at 110 degrees. I'm sure after I turn it, I'll be able to get it a little bit hotter. Same with this one. This one will probably heat back up. This is like a no rush compost. Like, I'm not worried about it heating up, cooking everything down super fast. It's really not a big deal. I'm just using this to capture offal. No rush means this will probably be ready if I continue to turn it, you know, once a month or whatever. This stuff will probably be ready by spring, at least to use as a top dress for something. Maybe I'll use this stuff and I'll put it on the hugel mound. You know, I could grow the hugel mound even bigger. I've got enough wood lying around. I actually kind of volcanoed this because it was getting too hot. You can see that stuff is turning a nice black color, and it doesn't stink whatsoever. It smells like rich, beautiful soil. So, kind of cool. All right, I'm gonna set this camera down and go get that tractor, get hooked up to one of these implements. I think I'll use the grapple. I found the grapple is actually the best for turning the compost and busting everything up. Then I switch over to the bucket and I'll just move my compost rings and scrape everything up, and I just turn everything. Yeah, you'll see. I don't know if the camera will do it justice. This is where compost piles have been. Very dark, rich looking soil. It's like transforming the soil. And then just over here, that's our Carolina red clay right there. The thing I have found is 2 years ago, I put it was just extra compost. I didn't have a space in the garden yet, so I just piled it right there. There's all kinds of stuff that was growing right there. Grass and stuff that has never grown in the dugout. What I see happening is if I build a whole bunch of compost piles down here, eventually we'll just build topsoil down here with the compost, and we'll be able to grow stuff down here if we were so inclined. This is the one that we will feed on Friday. You know, that's part of it. If you're learning how to butcher your own animals, you're gonna need to deal with the parts that you aren't gonna eat. So in my case, what I'm doing with it is I'm composting it. In years past, I've just buried it, and the whole time it's just like, man, I feel like I could use this, but I didn't plan ahead. This year I planned ahead. We're composting everything, and it's working fabulously. All right, and through the power of editing, we are back. It is actually the end of the day. Pardon the sizzling coming from the stove area. I'll get to that in a second. It's hard to open this thing.
You want me to open it?
Yeah, you open it. I can't hold a camera and a baby and open a lid.
Okay.
All right, pull that out for me. They don't even look remotely dry.
No, they're pretty squishy still. Like that, the very tip of that one was
There's quite a few of those that were already most of the way dry. Like, here's what they're gonna look like.
Yeah.
Those are nice and dry.
Yeah, these are.
And those happy berries are not even close to dry.
Not even close.
So, another 5 hours it is.
Okay.
Since you're making a racket over here with some sizzling, what you got going on?
We got some garlic sausages, the last of our sausages that we made last year. It's kind of a bummer, but it's alright. We're gonna have more here coming up pretty soon.
'Tis the season.
It is. So I'm getting those sauteed. Woo! We're gonna cook.
Oh, it's so quiet now.
Yeah, I know. And rice, and then cabbage.
You want to show off that cabbage?
This is our beautiful cabbage from the greenhouse.
So we wanted a lot of cabbage, so we planted a lot of cabbage.
Yes.
And half of it is ready now, the stuff that was in the greenhouse. The other half, I don't know if you can see it through that dirty window, but way down there.
Way out there.
I can't see through the dirty window. I gotta clean the windows. We actually have an entire bed of, it was like the rest of the cabbages that we had bought. And so I just stuck them all out there and made them fit, thinking we might have some losses. We didn't have any losses, so probably if the freezing temperatures we are currently having does not annihilate them, yeah, they might be okay.
Cabbages. pretty hardy.
It's pretty hardy. It's pretty resilient.
So we're having cabbage. We're just gonna do simple sauteed buttered cabbage. That's how we like it. It's delicious. And all good.
Sausage, rice, and cabbage.
Yep.
All right, sounds good. Simple dinner.
Just waiting on rice.
Just waiting on rice.
9
minutes. Okay, I jumped the gun.
You did.
I'm like ready.
I know, I am too, but it's the rice.
Come on, rice. Cook faster. How about the cabbage? I see you over here taking samples.
I had to make sure it's like good. It is good. It's salted, and I put a whole stick of butter in there.
Ooh.
Thanks for your help, Eugene.
Please bless this food for our bodies in Jesus' name. Amen.
That's good.
That's how I like my cabbage. Dinner was a hit.
It was.
Surprisingly, that whole head of cabbage disappeared.
Yeah, I did.
Everybody likes the cabbage.
I mean, you put half a stick of butter in anything, and it's good.
So this was a poor man's meal. This was something we used to eat back when we were like newly,
Really
like
broke.
the kids were real little.
Yeah.
We could afford a cabbage. Usually we could afford some sort of pack of, five or six bratwurst.
Yeah.
And Meg would cook it up, and it was glorious. It was delicious, and we loved it.
Yeah.
And now it's our own cabbage, our own sausage, not our own rice.
But I did cook it in our own pork stock.
Yeah, the rice was cooked in pork stock,
Yeah.
so it's pretty good.
Yeah.
So
It's
the
good.
meal has changed, but it's kind of the same.
It is.
It's better now.
It's still good.
And it makes me laugh that all the kids have like fond memories of this meal.
They do.
It's like,
yeah.
you guys don't realize like that was all we had back then.
Struggle meals.
Yeah, that was a struggle meal.
But it was so good, and it's still good.
All right, and that's gonna do it for us for today. So we'll catch you guys on the next one.
Bye.